Hey guys, I'm Heidi with Heavenly Minded Home, and today I want to share with you my 5 tips that anyone can do to have a cleaner home. So stay tuned. So glad you guys are here with us today. Welcome back. I think most of you are pretty familiar with it, but I love sharing things, just anything that is homemaker, homeschool related, all with a biblical perspective, as we do all to the glory of God and absolutely everything. We've had a lot going on here lately, especially with announcing our new shop, Heirs of the Promise, where every Friday we're releasing a new design for these different products that we've been creating that are biblically rooted and yet, fun and inviting and exciting to share. So you guys have been enjoying those. Thank you for supporting our shop. And then of course the super big news being that we now have the HMH Collective. That is our members only section here on YouTube. We're getting ready on January 11th to start a new year refresh and refocus. That is going to be a 9-week study as we work through 3 different topics, looking at our habits that we have in those areas, be it spiritual, mental, or physical, and going through each of those for 21 days, building new habits for our lives as we work through those different things. So many of you have signed up already. Be sure to come and join us there. I will link everything down in the description box. That way you can go and sign up as well. We're getting ready to get started, and it's going to be a great time. We've got some giveaways going on over there, some guest appearances, and some videos and all kinds of stuff. But I still want to make sure here on the main interface here with YouTube that we still have videos to put out each week. And today I want to dig into 5 of my go-to kind of non-negotiable tips when it comes to keeping your home clean. Little backstory here. I became a wife and a mom, a keeper at home to my very first home when I was 17 years old. So 17 years old, I was married, we had our son, and we had our first home living independently, not with our parents, for the first time, kind of all happening at one time. I ended up being a stay-at-home mom, and all of the things all at once at a very young age. And to be honest, I found myself quite overwhelmed very, very quickly trying to figure it all out. And that's when, for me, I stumbled upon the Fly Lady website back in 2004. So that was a big help for me, and where I really learned how to take care of my home, how to do all of the things. And so I did share with you guys my minimalist approach to the Fly Lady system. I will make sure to link that down below for those of you that would like to dig in a little bit deeper. I absolutely believe in it. I think it is such a wonderful system to help you kind of work through the things. But I know that for a lot of us, sometimes we need to start off with maybe something a little bit simpler. I've simplified the system, and it really is, it really makes a big difference. But I think sometimes just having a quick little approach to what to do when you are overwhelmed and you're trying to do all of the things, something like this with just 5 things that anyone can do, regardless of where you're at, what's going on. Anyone can take on these 5 steps and really start making a difference today. For me, these are 5 of the non-negotiables that I have in my day. Every day, regardless of what's going on, these are the things that I'm at least going to make sure to hit. I'm assuming most of us that are watching this video, we're either stay-at-home moms, we're homeschooling, maybe working from home, whatever the case may be. The more and more time that we spend in our homes, I think just make these things even more important. But if you're already feeling you're behind on these things, you're overwhelmed, whatever it is, I understand that it can be difficult. One thing that I get mentioned to me quite often, and really always have, is, oh wow, well you just keep your home so nice and so clean. Not necessarily. I think just the fact that I have maybe started at such a young age with being 17 and having to figure the things out, the fact that I have worked from home, ran a business out of my home for over the past decade, things like that, I guess I kind of was put in sink or swim positions very often where I needed to figure it out. I personally become very overwhelmed. My fuse gets very, very short when things are just cluttered and chaotic and messy. I can't work in that environment. And to be honest, I really think pretty much all of us are that way to an extent. I think it's very natural. It's a kind of God-given kind of initiative inside of us that when things become cluttered and overwhelming, it doesn't work well. Physical clutter does, coincide with mental clutter and chaos. And so all of those things really do kind of come together. And so, kind of just starting off here, knowing that the more and more that you declutter, that you minimize, that you simplify, you're always going to have an easier time than doing literally everything else in your life when you've done those things. So that's why if you're really serious and ready to dig into these things, the Fly Lady system that I shared with you guys, my kind of minimalist approach to that is going to be your best bet, because the more and more that you simplify, you minimize, you declutter these things, the easier everything is going to get for you. I promise you, okay? But let's go ahead and talk about these 5 tips. These are my non-negotiables that I make sure I do every single day. Excuse my toddler who's yelling at the dog, I believe. If the dog looks at her food, she gets rather annoyed. The first thing that we do every single morning without fail, I do this as soon as I get out of bed, is I make my bed. The same goes for the kids. Every morning they make their beds. I make it very simple, so that way, for like you see with me, making my bed literally constitutes pulling up the comforters, fixing the couple pillows, done deal. When you make your beds, it means that the largest space there in your room is nice and put together. That makes such the difference. Just like when you're staying at a hotel and every day you get to crawl into this beautifully, made bed. It doesn't have to be fancy, it doesn't have to be extravagant, but just taking this quick, simple step will make such a difference. The kids do the same thing. They have very simple blankets. They just pull them up. I don't even mess with, we have our fitted sheet and then our blankets, and that's it. I don't even mess with anything else. They set their pillow on their bed, they lay their blankets out, and that takes just a couple minutes of your time to do and makes such a big difference. So if you start today making your bed, that's going to start making a difference. Get in the habit every morning of just, when you get out of bed, pull the blankets up, boom, bam, made bed. And every night when you go to crawl back into your bed, it's so nice to walk in and at least have that nice little spot. So even if everything else is a little messy, you don't have everything else put together, having that is going to make a difference. Step 1, first tip anyone can do, make your bed, okay? Second tip, vacuum your floors or sweep whatever you have in your home. We have all hardwood floors in our house. We have no carpet whatsoever, but every day I vacuum the floors, every day. I enjoy vacuuming, to be honest. It's something I enjoy. A lot of times I will put in my earbud and have my Bible playing. Maybe I'll turn on some music, whatever it is. Clean your floors every single day. Okay. I do not mop, scrub, move furniture, super detail every day. No, I vacuum. It takes me 10 minutes probably to do my whole house. So I'm not talking, like I said, it's not a super thorough all of the things, but the main areas of our house where we spend all of our time, the living room, the kitchen, the dining space, the hallways, I'll usually go ahead and pop into the bathrooms too each day. But I just take the vacuum, run it over everything real quick. I do later on have my, kind of rhythm and routine for going from room to room and deep cleaning stuff. And that's when I move all the furniture. Excuse the dog. Is that necessary right here? Hi, Jerry boy. where I will then move all the furniture, you know, really deep clean. Once a week, I mop all of the floors. I have this amazing mop vacuum that I love. That's when I do all of that. But every day I take the time and I vacuum all of the floors. Your floors are the biggest surface that you have in your home, obviously, that you see. So when you take a few minutes every day to just make sure you've kind of cleaned those up a little bit, it will make a huge difference. So vacuum or sweep your floors every single day. It doesn't have to be moving all of the things, but you know, the kids, that's usually where I say, hey, I'm getting ready to vacuum. So that means if you don't want it sucked up by the vacuum or thrown away, pick up your stuff real quick, because anything that's left out on the floor, it's gonna go. Pick up your stuff. I'm running the vacuum. It only takes a few minutes and it will make a big difference. Tip number 3, I do 1 load of laundry every single day. That's it, 1 load. Laundry is never backed up in our home. The only time that I would do any extra is if I'm washing everybody's sheets or something like that, where usually I take one day and I just do it all up. But we do 1 load of laundry every single day. So how we do this is every single day we have the washer and we just add our dirty stuff into it as the day goes by. I use reusable everything. We don't use paper towels and things like that, so we go through a lot of cloths, the kids' dirty clothes after they've gotten dressed, whatever it is. Everything just gets thrown into the washer throughout the day. And at the end of the day, I start it up. So at the end of the day, I start it, it washes overnight. The next morning, we throw it into the dryer. So that means that we take out, you know, the day before's clothes out of the dryer, we get those folded, put away, throw the stuff in. Every day we complete start to finish. Hey, that's awesome. You got a fruit cup? Do you need someone to open it for you? Lily, come here. Show everyone your fruit cup. Come here. Come here, show me. Can you show me? Come here, show. You want to show in the camera? What did you get? Look at, show everyone. What did you get? What's in there? Is there a cherry? Yeah. Will you help her with that?
Yeah.
She gets so excited over these fruit cups that her uncle gives her, and she calls them cherries because that's her favorite. Huh? Oh, wow.
I'll go get that.
Lily just opened it and spilled it everywhere.
Not everywhere.
I think the washcloths are in the dryer because we just put in the load of laundry. Okay, so do a load of laundry every single day. If you do 1 load of laundry every day from start to finish, so every day you have washed, dried, put away a load of laundry, it is going to make go get it wet or it's going to leave a sticky mess. So get it damp first, then you can do it. It's going to make a huge difference, 1 load of laundry, okay? Similar to that, my 4th tip would be do 1 complete load of dishes every single day. So what we do is throughout our day, kind of like how we do the load of laundry, we do the same with the dishwasher. If you are hand washing dishes, you can do it similar as well, but keep up on the dishes. So that means throughout the day, we just keep adding all of our dishes straight into the dishwasher. It is one of our children's responsibility after breakfast, lunch, and dinner to just make sure whatever was put in the sink is straight into the dishwasher. And then at the end of the night, we put in the soap, turn it on, the next morning, put the dishes away, start the process over again. Doing that makes such a big difference. So even if we end up baking or, you know, having extra company over for dinner or whatever the case may be, can you please go sit at the table? So even if we happen to have company over or something unexpected comes up or whatever the case may be, because we are in the habit of just breakfast, lunch, and dinner, making sure everything goes straight into the dishwasher and it just gets ran every evening, put away first thing in the morning, it takes care of that stress, that backup of dishes. If you don't have a dishwasher and you're hand washing them, something that we always did when we were in that case is we would keep one of those like scrubbies, you know, the cool little things that it like holds the soap in the tube and it has the little scrubby pad on it. We would keep it in there. So instead of just setting your dishes in the sink, you just wash it real quick, and then on the in like if we had a 2 sink or a 2, is that what it's called? Yeah, like a 2 sink basin. On one side, we would just keep our dish strainer in the sink, and then on the other side, we'd have that side open. So you would just wash your dish there, rinse it, put it in the dish strainer, and then usually at lunch or the next meal, you just kind of grab a dish out of there, and then at the end of the night, we'd make sure they were all put away. Either way, whatever, you know, works best for you, just making sure that you are keeping those dishes, just wash them or rinse them and put them in the dishwasher, or wash them and put them away as soon as you use it. And that is going to make, or have your son put them away. I did say that we have a child who puts it away. It is our son. He is in charge of putting away the dishes every morning. Keeping up with that is something anyone can do, and it's going to make a huge difference, okay? My fifth point would be clear and wipe down surfaces every single day, be it your dining room table, your counters, whatever surface you have. Keeping the surfaces cleared and wiped down, even if you do it periodically throughout the day, you know, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, clear and wipe everything down, it is going to make a huge, huge difference, and anyone can get started today. Maybe she found another cherry in her fruit cup. That's what she just said. She goes, cherry! So cute. If you take a little bit of time, put a couple things away. Hey, if it doesn't belong on the counter, get it put where it goes. I really have to work at this. Surfaces get cluttered, and clutter breeds clutter. So if you start to have a little bit of clutter, next thing you know, it grows, and before you know it, everything's taken over. So if you take a couple minutes every day to just real quick, you know, put a couple things away, throw stuff away that doesn't need to be there, keep your surfaces cleared off and wiped down throughout the day, it is going to make a huge, huge difference. So again, to recap, make your bed every day, vacuum your floors or sweep or whatever you need to do 1 load of laundry, 1 load of dishes, keep your surfaces cleared and wiped down. If you take a few minutes to just always make sure that those are the things that you are doing throughout your day, it is going to make a huge overall difference in your home. That means that you're going to have less stuff laying around, maybe you're less overwhelmed, the kids are less overwhelmed, your home is going to overall look cleaner just by doing those 5 simple things every single day. So, does my home get messy throughout the day, considering we work from home, homeschool, there's a lot of us in our house? Yeah, every day, stuff basically, it's like a tornado went through here, right? I've got 4 kids cramming through my house every day. I've got animals, adults, other people that come over. Stuff happens, yes. But these are the non-negotiable things that we do every single day, and that keeps our home looking relatively clean and tidy, just overall on the norm. So yeah, every day the kids know, hey, the main part of the house, it needs to be picked up. If I find stuff out here in the house that doesn't belong here, toys, clothes, random things, whatever, I'm gonna throw it away. So at the end of the night before I go to bed, I'm gonna go through the house, and anything I find out here that doesn't belong in here, I'm just gonna toss it. That little trick right there makes my kids go, okay, I'm gonna make sure that I pick up all of these random things because I don't want them thrown away. Sometimes stuff gets thrown away, but guess what? They learn. For the kids, I have, you know, simple things for them. We'll get into stuff for the kids, but simple things for them that help them keep up on their stuff. Again, just adding the point, these 5 tips are going to make a big difference. These 5 tips are really going to allow you to keep your home fairly clean and tidy and organized overall throughout the day, so that way you're not getting overwhelmed. You're not, you know, getting, you know, just crushed in what do? I don't even know where to start. These things are going to make a big difference. But just remember that the more you minimize, the more you simplify, the less you have to worry about, the easier all of these things become. So taking, even if you say, hey, 5 minutes each day, I'm going to take a bag, I'm going to go around, I'm going to collect stuff that we don't need. Every day I'm going to, you know, whatever. If you work in doing little things like that, maybe you work from room to room and say, what do I even need in this room? Let me get rid of the stuff I don't. When you can and you start working on those things, it will make it easier for you. You can still do these 5 tips every day to help you out, but then eventually, you know, the more you start weeding stuff out, the easier it's going to be on you. The other point that I want you to think about is think of how many times you touch an item. I am a big procrastinator, guys. I will procrastinate until the very last minute, and then I will work like a crazy person. It's not healthy. It's what I do, though. Think about how often you touch something. So think of like your dishes. If you have them and then you just set them on the counter, and then you end up putting them in the sink, and then you have to move them out of the sink because you need something into the sink, and then you put them back in the sink, and then eventually you take them and you load them up in the dishwasher, or you hand wash them or whatever. How often did you have to go and physically deal with that dish when you could have just taken it, rinsed it, put it in the dishwasher? Taken it, washed it off, put it away. It only takes a few seconds to do most of these things if we would just do it in the first place. The same thing like stuff that ends up taking up the dining room table or the counters. How many times do you end up moving stuff, putting it here, putting it there? If you would have just taken it and dealt with it in the first place, it takes care of it, right? Your mail comes in, you end up setting it here, then moving it here, moving it there. If you just look at it, do I need it? All right, put it in the, the spot, whatever it is that needs to be dealt with. If not, throw it away. Little things like that. Think of how often you're touching an item. If you will just try to touch it only one time. So if that's putting it straight into the dishwasher, putting it straight into the laundry, throwing it away, putting it up in the right cupboard, whatever it is, try to only touch something one time. I did what I needed to do with it. Now I'm done. I don't have to worry about it anymore. So kind of that simplifying and being aware of how often you're having to touch that item over and over and over again, those simple things will kind of help you in just your overall view of how you're doing these different things. But adding in these 5 tips every day, you're going to start noticing that your home looks a little bit cleaner every day, and that in itself is a huge win. So hopefully those tips help you guys. Definitely share your tips down below. Do you have non-negotiables, your things that you make sure to do every day without fail that really makes a big impact in your home? Share those down below in the comments. Be sure, I would appreciate it if you guys could like the video. It's like that cheesy YouTube thing to have to ask, but it makes a big difference. It does, yeah. Is that true? Was your fruit cup good? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that funny?
Okay, guys, we are this selfie.
Goofball. So anyways, hopefully that helps you guys. Hopefully you guys can start using these 5 tips and it will make things a little bit easier for you in your home.
Yeah, I know, this.
We're gonna go do whatever it is that she's working on. I think first we're gonna wipe up your face because you've got fruit cup all over you.
So we are.
We will see you guys over at the H&H Collective.
Yeah.
It's pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Good luck with getting your homes in order, and we will see you next time. Bye, guys. Can you say bye?
Bye.
Bye.